Training Camp 2.0, Jeff Rimmer. Pleased to be joined by Jean-Luc Grandpierre as we bring you today's Blue Jackets scrimmage here at the Ohio Health Ice Haus. And Jean-Luc, we're ready to go. Second consecutive day. Yesterday's game ended up in a 1-1 tie.
Yeah, hopefully we see more goals today, but that's a good sign for the goaltending on the Jackets side. But yeah, it'd be nice to see a little more offense today.
And the goaltenders of record there, you saw a quick shot deep in the goal crease of Jonas Korpisalo. At the other end is Elvis Berzlikins. Savard with a pass here on the left wing. Gavrikov centers, and the shot sails wide of the net. It's been a pretty impressive camp. The Jackets have shown a lot of speed, Jean-Luc, and I'll tell you what, they look pretty healthy to me.
Yes, they do, and a lot of speed, as you said, Jeff. That's going to be a key factor for this series against the Toronto Maple Leaf. We all heard about how dynamic Toronto is as a team offensively. So for the Jackets, a lot of youth, a lot of energy bottled up over the last 4 months, so they're ready to go.
Good work by Atkinson along the wall. Took a hit, but made the play clearing the zone as he attempted to race up that right wing. Both teams with quick line changes. Team White versus Team Blue. Good to see Ryan Murray back and healthy. He will certainly be a key player against those Leafs that you speak of.
Yes, he is, and that's a guy that we've all heard about some injury problems from. Ryan Murray took a couple maintenance days during camp so far, but he is looking good, and he's looking quite fast as well, so that's a good thing. Again, that speed aspect is going to be key against the Leafs.
A couple of nice saves here by Korpisalo early with Team White pressuring deep in Team Blue territory. Harrington around the net, throws it up the wall. Bouncing puck picked up at center ice. Murray steers ahead, but it's onto the stick of Harrington. You know what you're going to get from Scott Harrington every time he's on the ice with a pass there for Peak.
Yes, and that's one of the things that makes him so effective for this Blue Jackets team. He knows his role. He keeps it simple. You're not going to see him, doopsie-doo with the puck. It's simple, up the board or up the wing, and he can be physical when needed as well. So very reliable defenseman. What a goal right here.
Nice shot there, and good to see Pierre-Luc Dubois. He has missed a couple of practices, but he's out here. Describe what you see.
Well, Oliver Bjorkstrand, who else? With the crazy backhand over the shoulder of Korpisalo. But yeah, Oliver Bjorkstrand scored yesterday in the scrimmage and again today already on the score sheet. And we talked about the underrated players right here. This could be the secret weapon for the Jackets against Toronto is number 28.
Yeah, good to see him back and healthy. He certainly was missed, and as Coach John Tortorella stated earlier on this week, without question, the Blue Jackets' best player when he went down to injury. Another long shot here. Korpisalo able to see it through the crowd. Quick break. Gerby dishing. Quick shot there, sent wide of the net. Centering pass, and Elvis plays that one off the chest. Goaltending will be an interesting story here as we move along.
Yes, it sure will. Jeff, early on in camp, day one, Korpisalo looked a little rusty, was definitely fighting that glove side, and Merzlikins was sharp, and now I think both of them are pretty much up to speed, so it's going to be a battle all the way till probably that exhibition game where you would assume that each goaltender will get half the game to play in, and then most likely we'll see a decision from the coaching staff as far as who's going to start, but that's not going to be an easy decision.
Good to see a body check being thrown here. There were a couple yesterday, now carried in. This is Seth Jones. Nice left wing pass for Foligno, and it's steered off to the corner by Jonas Korpisalo, who certainly, despite giving up that goal to Bjorkstrand, looks a lot sharper here today than he has at any other time this week, even in practice prior to this scrimmage here at the Ice Haus.
Yes, and Team White right now completely dominating offensively anyway with most of the chances. So Korpisalo is getting a lot of shots on, and nice little goal here scored.
Boone Jenner.
Boone with the backhand. So 2 backhands so far for the Jackets. These guys been working on their craft over the break, and it's nice to see them score. Yeah, I don't think Merzlikins have seen a shot yet. So a few attempts that missed the net, but so far it's all Team White here.
Bouncing puck at the line, reaching for it there was Texier. Another player we're happy to see back and healthy.
Yes, you heard about his back injury, and that's another guy that that break came in at a right time. Obviously, we could all go without the whole situation with COVID-19, but in some kind of way, it is almost a blessing for the Jackets to have had all that time for these guys to get healthy again and put a competitive product on the ice as those playoffs will start.
Kukin from center dumps in. Korpisalo will play it behind the net.
Talk about injury. There's another guy, Dean Kukin. We almost forgot about this guy, and we all know the Swiss smooth skating defenseman is going to be another asset that the Jackets are going to be happy to see in their lineup again as well.
Nash drops. This is Stenlund, backhander wide of the net. Puck tossed to the far side. Harrington looks up the left wing. Offshore, Stenlund. Centering pass just bounces wide of Elvis and the blue net. Bemstrom drops it there. Moving in, long shot through the screen. It was Merzlikin steering to the corner. Up along the near boards, the puck sent out of the zone. Good pace to this scrimmage here. Has its gloved out of the zone. Savard quickly on the puck. Hands it there to Stenlund with a shot. Elvis fights it off. Bouncing puck with a gaping wide open net. Team White unable to get to it.
Yeah, and finally a shot there for Team Blue on Merzlikins, and was fighting that one. I think it maybe caught him by surprise, a little bit of a screen, and then we all know how hard of a shot Stenlund has, and he showed it right there.
Sherwood gets it ahead across the line from the left wing. An attempt way off the mark. Good pace to this morning's scrimmage.
Yeah, good pace. Puck is moving well. A lot of side-to-side passes, taking advantage of that middle ice that's open when needed. And as we're talking about these guys getting ready as it is training camp, Jeff, I'm asking you a quick question, and I'm being serious here. Are you describing this game from your monitor or looking at the ice?
I'm looking at the ice.
Oh, boy.
Why?
Well, you need to get ready for the playoffs, right? You should probably look at that little screen in front of you instead, because that's going to be a big adjustment for you too, right?
Oh, for sure. But I'd rather look at the live action right now. We use that monitor here, and it's a pretty good one for replays. Harrington, the shot deflected. In the slot, Wenberg, Harrington. Down the right side, head up, moves in. Off the stick there of Elvis. Played along the wall.
That was a nice play there. Try to connect with Atkinson right there in the slot.
Seth Jones takes from Werenski. He'll hold as the lines are changed up. White on the breakout. Jones will dump in. Oh, wicked bounce there off the end boards. So after 5 days in training camp for you, what was it like? Because I kind of like the way the guys are skating here.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting used to the intensity. It is, it's definitely an adjustment physically, because as hard as you skate in the summer, right before camp, you start easing things back up a little bit. So, and obviously you're not skating with NHL guys all summer long, so it's definitely a big adjustment. You're trying to impress the coaching staff, try and make a name for yourself as well. And the one thing with the Jackets, and I don't think it's going to be a problem, especially with Coach John Torella, and I got caught up, not necessarily playing my game in training camp, because it is your teammate, so you don't want to hurt anyone necessarily, but about 5 days after camp, the coaching staff typically tell you, hey, Jean-Luc, stick to your game. You're not here to doopsie-doodle or do whatever. Let's start banging the body here. So I'm sure Jody got the same talk as well.
Team White, backhand attempt block. Puck sails high and is swept out. Stenlund in a foot race here. Glendening off the wall. Puck was chipped ahead. McInnes looks for the return feed. On the turnover. Gerby, left wing. Oh, nice move by Stenlund to walk around the defender, but quickly that's Nudovara with it. Tell you, interesting battle for that third defensive pairing. We know the top four: Werenski, Seth Jones, Gavrikov, Savard. It'll be interesting to see. With Ryan Murray healthy, certainly you look to give him a spot. Who takes that sixth spot on the blue line? Is it Nudovara? Is it Harrington? Is it Peak?
Yeah, that's going to be, like you said, a very interesting battle, especially as you're facing Toronto. Do you go with a little bit more mobility and put Nudie in there, or Dean Kukan, depending how he looks in camp? Or do you go with your old reliable Scott Harrington? So the coaching staff at the end, they will make that decision, whoever looks sharper. But I think if I were to pick someone right now, I would probably go with somebody that's a little bit more mobile, just because of the speed aspect, again, that Toronto is going to bring. And you'll want to match it, as best as possible. And I think healthy Ryan Murray is a big, big asset.
Without question.
Ryan Murray on the third pair on any team would be ludicrous, but on the Blue Jackets, it does make sense because, again, that Savard Gavrikov second pair is exceptional.
Underrated. We all know what Savard can do, and I'll tell you what, Gavrikov's turned into a pretty reliable guy on the blue line.
Yes, he is. And what a fun character he is, too.
Yeah. Korpisalo, the busier the two goaltenders here, and he has, despite the two goals, looked sharp. 2-0 Team White. Puck kept in at the line there by Savard. Seth Jones gathers it up here in the corner. Across the line, Dubois knocked off his stick, tries to recover. Here's a 3-on-2. Tried to cut in. Bemstrom camped behind the net. Riley Nash reaching in. Puck rifled around. Harrington up high. Off the point. From the corner. Ice level look here. Bemstrom. Tell you what, he's showing some pretty good speed here.
Yeah, he's got some jump. Probably not happy to be relegated to the fourth line. And he's definitely somebody that wants to show a little something there to the coaching staff and see if he can move up the lineup. But we all know the potential with him. But he has looked very sharp so far in camp.
Up the left wing, dumped in by Robinson. Elvis out to play. Slides it off into the corner. 2-0, Team White. Couple of backhand shots eluding Jonas Korpisalo. One by Boone Jenner. First goal by Bjorkstrand. 2-0. Puck turned over. This is Shore. Centering past Stenlund. Tried to throw it across the goal mouth. Defended very easily here, and it's Nudovara. Quick in transition up the left wing. Shot there off Korpisalo. Looks for it. Comes right back up high.
A sneaky shot there by Cole Sherwood there in front, and Korpisalo never realized he had the puck literally sitting right between his legs there.
Stenlund, full stride, drops the pass there. Backhand attempt, tip. There's Gerby trying to send the rebound home. Always going to find Gerby battling in front of that net. Yeah. David Savard. Atkinson, nice move to get by two members of Team White. And throws a hit there on Seth Jones.
Yeah, I got a little frustrated there. Seth was just waiting, watching Atkinson do his little dance, and simple stick right in front of him and stop the play real quick there. And he is so good at it, Jeff. We've talked about it over and over and didn't realize how valuable this guy was to the Blue Jackets until he got hurt. But yeah, Seth Jones makes it look so easy, doesn't he?
He sure does. We talk about all the injured players. Good to see Cam Atkinson healthy, not favoring that ankle, which kind of bothered him. The nagging injury, the high ankle sprain, was supposed to come back when the Blue Jackets were set to play Pittsburgh and Sidney Crosby here on March the 12th. But, of course, the pause started. Goaltenders will switch ends.
Give a
And
little more
Atkinson healthy.
Yeah, Atkinson being healthy is key. He was going to come back against Pittsburgh on that famous Thursday evening no crowd game, and this is a guy that, as the season progressed, you could see him trying to push, wanting to make that comeback, and tweaked it again. But now we're 4 months really to recover. Hopefully, he can put that behind him. Because when you come back from an injury, yes, you say you're ready, but you're never really 100%. And, it can play a little bit psychologically when you're heading into the corner or try to make some quick turns. You're thinking about favoring that ankle. But I think all doubt is gone now for Cam Atkinson, so it's going to be really nice to see him fully healthy this time.
Teams have switched ends here. Team White trying to get something going in the offensive zone. You get a look there at ice level and Jonas Korpisalo. Jones. Bjorkstrand offside. Andrew Peak. Pretty impressive in his rookie campaign last year. Smart, young defender. Oh, quick shot. Nice save. Elvis is sporting new pads this season. Gone are the city's skyline.
Yeah, it went back to a very simple design there. We all know everybody was in awe over the design that Bowery did with the skyline of Columbus, and now switch back to just a regular, normal design. Still looks good. Not as impressive, but I'm sure he'll come up with something new next year.
Here's Riley Nash at center. Nash now tries to fight off the check, turns, centering pass tipped away by Ryan Murray. Nash gets it right back. Tell you what, Riley Nash has had a good camp so far.
Yes, he has. He's looked good both offensively and defensively. And this is a guy that has a really hard job. You look at his numbers, always a good defensive player, always playing with the young guys. This year, he was centering mostly guys that got called up from Cleveland, and he's a great veteran presence. And, not the loudest guy in the locker room, but you can tell that these young guys can learn a lot from a guy like Riley Nash.
Scored a couple of goals here, and the Blue Jackets' first week of camp. They'll have an off day tomorrow, practice Sunday. Next week, there'll be a couple of simulated games. And of course, they will head to Toronto and the Big Bubble come next Sunday, the 26th. Won't be long. Play their one and only exhibition game on the 30th and then begin the qualifying round August 2nd, 8 p.m. on Fox Sports Ohio against the Maple Leafs. Sherwood dumping in. Peak trying to fight off the check and the pressure. Oh, puck turned over. Sherwood threw it in front, bouncing puck a little high. Be interesting to see the makeup of the final roster, 31 players. Blue Jackets likely to take 3 goaltenders. It'll be an interesting matchup, Jean-Luc, against Toronto. The Leafs can score.
It sure will.
Ooh, somebody got it high there.
Is that Clendenning?
Yeah. Yeah, he seems to be all right. Took the puck off the side of the head. Harrington drops it for Atkinson. Atkinson breaks on. Slides it off into the corner. Defending is Clendenning. Down low. Battle behind Elvis. Oh, good work there. Zone to the line and out. Jenner looking for that Foligno pass on the turnover. Up ice, drop pass, quick shot. Elvis very calmly steers that to the corner. Team Blue trailing Team White 2-0. Goals by Jenner and Bjorkstrand. Here's a shot and a goal.
Gerby.
How about that?
Yeah, glove side there. Top corner on Elvis. Nice sneaky shot from Nathan Gerby.
Here's a look at it.
You can see there, he used the defender there. Was that? Yeah, used the defender as a screen, and no chance there for Elvis.
Carlson. It's a shore down the wing with Stenlund and Gerby. Ripped around the boards. Carlson steps up. Seth Jones. Oh, nice move here by Dubois. Walking in. Left wing pass. Texier with a shot off the shoulder of Corpusalo.
Well, Jeff, my wish came through.
What's that?
I want to see more goals. It's already 2-1, so you got one more goal than yesterday.
Well, you beat Jody.
There you go.
You're one up on Mr. Shelley.
That's right. Give me some goals.
Try to cut in there. Centered pass there by Dubois, and Texier just slid it wide. Texier gets it back, albeit briefly. Nyquist sends in deep. Ryan Murray will get there first. Murray dishes to the corner. Cross ice pass. Sherwood on the turnover. 4-on-1, quick shot, save, rebound, just bounces wide.
Smart shot there by Cam Atkinson. He doesn't have the best angle, puts it down on the pad, knows that there's a rebound coming, and Gus Nyquist missed it just by a little bit, but great shot there. Sometimes you can't make the pass on an odd man rush. You use the goaltender as your pass, you use the pads, and that was a great play there by Atkinson.
Elvis has it, and he'll hold. Jenner wins the draw, circling the net. Long lead pass, trying to spring Nick Foligno. Nash with a cross ice pass. Savard. Robinson, shot deflected high. Well, one thing that Nash has here with these two speedy wingers to make things interesting here for Riley Nash. Robinson and Bemstrom.
Yeah, that definitely, we all know about the speed of Eric Robinson here. That definitely helps. As a center, even though you're not necessarily the fastest guy, if you can get some speed on your wings, it's a big help. And with the young Bemstrom and Robinson on your sides, the Jackets will be able to match that speed for sure. And they can produce offensively as well. We saw, Eric Robinson score a few nice goals using his speed this year, and then we all know about the Bemstrom shot, and if he can get his feet moving like he is right now, it's going to be a big help for the Jackets.
Wenberg, touch pass there. Moving in, centered. Oh, good work there by Texier to pick off that pass in the slot. Track. Stenlund. Gavrikov back for Stenlund. Carlson on the wing. Traffic in front of Elvis. Puck just sailed right across mid-ice. And here from a sharp angle, Elvis turns that one aside. Texier gets it ahead. This is Dubois. Pierre-Luc denied entry at the line. Quick feed. Moving in. That's Gerby. Gerby trying to feed Stenlund in the high slot. Stenlund gets it nonetheless and rips it wide. Tell you, the Jackets right now, he's in Group 2, but a guy capable of scoring, certainly helping out on the power play. Great shot is Stenlund. I'd like to see him get some activity here during this upcoming series.
Yes, and he's a big body, especially in front of the net, like you said. And one thing with Kevin Stenlund is the big knock on him was always his skating, but he does not look slow out there right now. And it's something that as the season progressed, I don't think he's a slow guy. I think he just didn't like to skate so much with the puck, but as he became more and more comfortable in his role with the Jackets, it almost seems like it was getting faster and faster, and that's definitely a big advantage for the Blue Jackets if he can move his feet. And for him as well, obviously.
Tell you one thing, we talk about Stenlund given an opportunity. We talked earlier here about Andrew Peak and the makeup of the blue line. After you get past the top 4 or 5, if Murray's healthy, it's going to be a competitive effort here. And if you don't play to the best of your ability in the coach's eyes, why, you're going to have somebody on the bench ready to come off and make a contribution in that Toronto series.
Yes, and we all know about Coach Tortorella. He does not care about your status, doesn't care about if you scored 50 goals for him last season. It's what have you done for me lately, and that's definitely the approach he has right now. He's got Texie on that first unit with Bjorkstrand and Dubois right now, I believe. So he's definitely going to mix things up and not going to be afraid to bring in the Gerbies and Stenlund if they can show him something.
I know some people are surprised that Gerby was in that second group, but yeah, they want to break it down, but at the same time, certainly Coach Tortorella knows what he has in Nathan Gerby, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him see some action in the Toronto series. And once he gets in the lineup, it might be tough to get him out.
Exactly. Just need one sniff at it. And again, for Nathan Gerby, it's not the first time that he's got to defy the odds, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see him in the lineup against Toronto.
Ooh, Elvis with a stop there. Didn't have an idea really where it was, but the shot by Texier, the save by Merzlikins.
Lots of battles in this lineup. Forwards, we talk about the forwards, the Ds, and same thing for the goaltenders. These guys know, the net has not been handed to anyone yet, and probably won't be for a while. So it's going to be every practice, every game is going to be really important.
Yeah, I would think either before the Boston exhibition game, before the quarterfinal series, or maybe even after the starting goaltender for game 1 against the Maple Leafs on August 2nd will be determined. So it's less than 2 weeks before that exhibition game, and of course a little more than 2 weeks from Sunday. This quarterfinal series will begin. Here's Foligno taking the long pass, a shot, save Elvis, and he'll hold on to the rebound. Nick following up the shot, trying to find that rebound.
And that's one of the big thing here, as we saw Korpisalo made that save on Nick Foligno, is the rebound control for the goaltenders and really feeling the puck. And there you see Korpisalo, he has the puck, but he's not sure where it is, so he's kind of keeping everything tight. And we talked about the big adjustment for everybody coming back. The goaltenders are probably going to have the biggest one, so it may take a couple of weeks for these guys really to feel the puck like they used to.
Seth Jones off the wall. He and Bjorkstrand teaming up there. Bjorkstrand now across the line. They spent a lot of time together here in Columbus during the pause, recuperating from broken ankles and surgery.
Yeah, similar injuries, basically same surgery, a couple of weeks apart. But you talk about two guys, they don't look like they missed a beat. Seth and Olivier Bjorkstrand almost put them in an advantage, being able to rehab and skate at the facility while everybody was sitting home. But from day 1 of training camp, Olivier Bjorkstrand has been shooting that puck and scoring nonstop.
And there is the whistle. Zamboni will resurface the ice. Get a change of goaltenders. as they resume play for the second half of this scrimmage here. Again, the team will have a day off tomorrow. It'll be a welcome day off here after a 5-day effort here at training camp. There's Seth Jones.
Okay, there'll be a few trades there. I see Gus Nyquist with a white jersey in hand.
Are we going to see the resumption of play, or might we see perhaps some power play and penalty killing? That's what they did yesterday after the scrimmage. We might be looking at maybe just a half a game here. And perhaps they'll work on their special teams, which are going to be awfully important, Jean-Luc. Come this series, Toronto's one of the league's best power play, and of course the Blue Jackets strong on the penalty kill. Will also look to contribute offensively with the manpower advantage.
Yeah, and these two guys right here, Zach and Seth, we know their D partner's been announced, and big key of the power play. Zach, of course, with 20 goals this year.
Led the National Hockey League in that department. All defensemen at least.
Not too shabby for a defenseman, huh?
Not at all. Always talking, always communicating. Good to see.
Both flashing the mustache there. Look at, how about that mustache and mullet on Zach there? I wish he could take his helmet off. I saw that yesterday. Wow.
He likes it. I guess he's taking a little bit of ribbing from the coach. That's not going to bother him at all.
No. Well, it probably took him 4 months to grow that mustache because we all seen his facial hair.
Lots of chatter, lots of smiles. These guys are happy to be back together, I can tell you.
Yeah, it's been a long 4 months for these guys, and it's just, again, being off the ice for 4 months is something that none of these guys probably have done in their entire life, and it kind of makes you appreciate a little bit everything, how blessed you are to be in this position, and these guys are definitely happy to be here, and you can tell. You can tell they're having fun. They're working hard. It's not easy, but it's better than sitting at home, right?
For sure. And with an opportunity to win a Stanley Cup, that's what all these guys dreamed of.
On top of it, exactly.
It's going to be a wide open Stanley Cup playoffs. Of course, the qualifying round will be awfully interesting to watch. Not only the Blue Jackets and Toronto, but tell you what, there's some pretty interesting series and first-round matchups. I know where you'll be for much of the day in the evening for those first few weeks when you're not here analyzing the Blue Jackets-Toronto series.
Yep. Should be fun.
Lots of smiles. Nyquist now wearing a white jersey. Gerby's put on a white jersey. I got a feeling we're going to be working here on the power play and penalty kill. Special teams.
Very likely.
Could determine the winner of that series. The Jackets can keep Toronto and their highly touted power play. The likes of Marner, Tavares, Matthews, Nylander, Morgan Riley, Tyson Barrie.
Yeah, it's a lot of offense, that's for sure. So penalty killing is going to be key. And obviously for the Jackets, power play is going to be key too. In the playoffs, we know how crucial discipline is. Good example last season. As you look at the Jackets run there, especially that series against Tampa Bay. A lot of frustration came in from the Tampa Bay side, and for the Jackets, you need to capitalize on those few chances, because we all know the whistle's a little tighter in the playoffs. They don't call as many infractions as they do during the regular season, so you may get 1 or 2 opportunity a game to capitalize on it. So every power play is going to be very, very important.
Oh, look at Nick Foligno there, Blue Jackets captain. Very excited to see the resumption of play. Promised his kids he's going to bring the cup home. Talking to him the other day, talked in terms of hoping that the Blue Jackets can advance and go to Edmonton for what will be the conference final and the Stanley Cup final. Of course, the 2 hub cities, Toronto and Edmonton, but the Stanley Cup final, as well as the Eastern and Western Conference finals, will be staged out there in Edmonton. They had some pretty bad weather there yesterday. I don't know if you saw.
Yeah. The flooding, right?
They had a flooding in, I guess it's the press entrance to Rogers Arena in Edmonton. But the Oilers put out a press release today that said, yes, there was some damage, but it is not going in any way, shape, or form affect Edmonton and their effort to be the hub city. Nice to see local product, Sherwood, out here.
Yeah, Cole's been skating with over at the Battery, Cam Atkinson's facility there. I think he's been training with Cam during this little bit before Phase 2. New Albany product, one of my neighbors.
Yeah.
Former neighbors.
Great kid. Great kid.
Yes, great kid. This is a guy that, changed his role a little bit, had to find a little more of a physical edge to his game, and it looked like over the last year it finally got there, had some injury problems. So, yeah, he's battled a lot, but, his will is there, and that would be great to see him as a permanent fixture here with the Blue Jackets. So, time will tell. But that's the life of, grinding it to make it to the NHL, right? You spend some time in the minors, you bounce up and down, and then you stick or you don't. And hopefully for Cole Sherwood, he does just that and sticks with the Jackets.
Stéphane Matteau, a fellow French-Canadian. David Savard. Now, they speaking French or English? What do you think? We have to send you down there and maybe do a little investigating and eavesdropping on that conversation.
I might just ask him. If I were to take a guess, they're speaking English. I don't know.
Matteau taking a little bit of advice here from the veteran Savard. Love his game. Think back to last year's playoffs against Tampa and Boston. Scored a beautiful goal in the Stanley Cup playoffs last spring.
Yes.
You know what you're going to get from David Savard in each and every shift.
You're going to get defense, a lot of laying down, blocking shots, and talk about a guy that probably lives in an ice bag right here. I mean, the amount of bruises that his body takes game in, game out.
Savard having a little bit of a laugh there with head coach John Tortorella, now in conversation with Brad Shaw. Brad, the studious coach, really got a good view on the game. There's Carlson. A lot of discussion going on here.
And what a great coaching staff John Tortorella has. Really surround himself with the right people, and now he is named one of the 3 finalists for the Coach of the Year in the NHL. But
and should win it, I might add.
Oh, with all the adversity that he's been through, definitely.
Savard, he's just out there talking to everybody. That's great to see. One of the veteran leaders on this team, part of that leadership group. Ian Gavrikov. Great defensive pairing right there.
Yep.
I think we are going to be working on the power play and the penalty kill. So we'll wrap things up here from the Ohio Health Ice Haus. Jeff Rimmer along with Jean-Luc. Good job there, Jean-Luc.
Always good to see you, Jeff, from a distance, of course.
Yeah, we are socially distancing here.
About 15 feet.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us. Blue Jackets will continue training camp, as we mentioned, after an off day tomorrow on Sunday. And I'm sure there'll be streams throughout next week, including, as we mentioned, a couple of simulated games for the Blue Jackets. For Jean-Luc, I'm Jeff Rimmer. And thanks for joining us here on the Ohio Health Ice Haus, presented by Ohio Health.